We used to speak in forever, like it was already ours. Now we talk in empty moments, under unfamiliar stars. Your touch began to hesitate, your smile didn't stay. I felt the love growing distant, but I didn't walk away. You said nothing's really wrong, like I couldn't feel the shit. But love doesn't vanish, suddenly it just starts to drift. I watched love disappear right in front of me. In every silence you chose, in every part of me you couldn't see. I held on to what we were while you were letting go. I watched love disappear, and it broke me slow. You stopped saying I need you, started saying I'm fine. I kept reading between the lines, looking for a sign. I blame myself for the distance, try to change my shape. I thought if I loved you harder, you'd choose to stay. You said love shouldn't hurt this much, like payment we were done. But loving you half-hearted is how the deepest hurt comes. I watch love disappear like a fading light. I was still fighting for us, you were giving up the fight. I felt the end in every delay, every promise you broke. I watched love disappear, and I learned how hearts go cold. Some endings don't come crashing down, they arrive without a sound. They're living unanswered questions and love that's not around. I don't hate you for leaving, I hate how long I stayed, watching the one thing I believed in slowly slip away. If I had known the last I love you was really goodbye. I watch love disappear, but I'm learning how to heal. I'm learning love should never make you beg or kneel. I love again without fear, without losing myself. But you'll always be the one who taught me how love can disappear. I didn't lose you all at once, I lost you day by day. I watched love disappear, and quietly walk away. We stopped fighting for answers, stopped asking, are we okay? Your eyes learned how to look past me, my heart learned how to stay. Words sat heavy between us, unsaid but understood. I was screaming on the inside, you said nothing like you could. We used to talk for hours, now we barely spoke at all. Love didn't leave in anger, it faded in the calm. Silence ended us, not goodbye, not the tears we wouldn't cry. It was every how we ended. I filled the space with open. You filled it with escape. I asked you if you still love me. You said I'm just tired lately. I learned how distance feels when you're still lying close. How a heart can feel abandoned by the one it needs the most. You said love shouldn't feel this heavy, like quiet was a phase. But silence doesn't fade on its own, it learns how to stay. Silence ended us bit by bit. In the pauses we permit, I kept waiting for your voice, you kept holding back from it. I was begging without words, you were already done. Silence ended us before we ever said we're done. Some endings don't come screaming, they arrive without a sound. They sit between two people until nothing's left to find. I don't hate you for leaving, I hate how we let it be. How love didn't break loudly, it just stopped choosing me. If we had spoken sooner, would we still be here? Silence ended us, but I still try to hear you in the quiet night. I loved you through the distance, through the spaces in between. You stopped reaching out for me. Silence ended us, and I finally see. One day the quiet won't hurt, it won't call out your name. But tonight I'm learning how silence can change everything. I showed you every fragile part I never let the world see. I spoke my truth without a shield. You promised you were safe from me. I loved you in my quiet ways, in words I meant to keep. I trusted you with all my scars. You touched them and they bled. You said my heart was precious, that you never do it harm. But you left fingerprints on places I only showed in trust. You broke me where I was honest, where I loved you without fear. You didn't shatter my defenses, you broke me where I was real. I gave you truth, not armor, I gave you all of me. You broke me where I was honest, and it still lives in me. I didn't play pretend with love, I meant every word I said. I stayed when it felt easier to walk away instead. You knew how much it cost me to open up that door, and still you chose the one thing that I can't ignore. You said I never meant to hurt you, like pain was just a mistake. But breaking someone's honesty, it's the deepest kind of hate. This is why you broke me where I was honest. But I won't close my heart. I'll just be more careful with the truth I give apart. One day I'll love completely without fear or defense, but you'll always be the reason I learned what honesty costs. I didn't fail at loving you, I loved you truthfully. You broke me where I was honest, but that honesty is still me. We used to talk till morning, like time was on our side. Now silence fills the spaces where we used to collide. Your smile started feeling distant, your touch began to change. I felt the love growing quieter, but I stayed the same. I kept telling myself this is just a phase, but deep down I could feel it slipping away. I watched us fade day by day, like colors losing their name. I held on tighter while you slipped away. I felt you leaving 1,000 small ways before you finally walked away. I loved you through the pain, I watched us fade day by day. You stopped saying I miss you, started saying I'm tired. I kept asking what was wrong, you said nothing and lied. I learned how absence can hurt, even when you're near. How goodbye can start long before it's clear. You said love shouldn't feel heavy like weight, man, we were done. But I was carrying the truth, you were already gone. I watched us fade day by day, like a song losing its sound. I was still trying to save us while you were letting go now. I felt the end in every delay, and every promise that changed. I loved you through the pain, I watched us fade day by day. Some endings don't come crashing down, they arrive flowing quiet in unanswered messages. And nights we stop trying. I don't blame you for leaving, I blame the space in between, where I kept loving harder while you stopped choosing me. If I had known that last smile was really goodbye, I watched us fade day by day, but I never stopped believing. I thought love could survive if I kept on reaching out. I'm standing in the remains of words we couldn't say. I loved you with everything, I watched us fade day by day. One day I'll love without fear again, without wondering if you'll stay. But tonight I'm letting go of the love I watch fade day by day. hold you like a promise, afraid to hold too tight. Every smile was a moment I prayed would last the night. I felt the cracks between us, but I ignored the signs. I thought love meant believing, even when I was blind. You said we had time to figure it out. I trusted every word you said. I didn't know I was already losing you instead. Love slipped through my hands like sand in the rain. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't make it stay. I gave you all I had, you still let go. Now I'm left with empty palms and a heart I don't know. I stayed when it was heavy, when silence filled the room. I spoke in gentle prayers, you answered with the truth. I learned how love can fade without a single sound, how two hearts stop reaching while still standing close around. You said it's not your fault, but that doesn't heal the ache. When loving you was everything I had to give and break. Love slipped through my hands while I held on alone. You were already leaving before I even knew. I gave you all my faith, you gave me the end. Now I'm standing in a space where I forever should have been. Some losses come in silence, not storms, not shattered glass, just promises growing distant and a future in the past. I don't hate you for leaving, I hate how long I stayed, trying to save a love that was already slipping away. If love is meant to stay, why did it feel so thin? But I loved you all the same, even knowing the ending. I'd still speak your name. One day I'll hold a love that doesn't fall apart, but you'll always be the one who taught my heart. I didn't lose you all at once, I lost you every day, until love slipped through my hands and quietly walk away. We're still learning how to say goodbye, still holding on to what we used to be. You packed your heart in a moment while I was begging you to stay with me. I thought love meant waiting, thought time would make you stay, but you were already halfway gone. While I was praying you'd change, I needed one more conversation, one more night to make it right, but you chose the silence, called it kinder than a fight. You left before I let go, before I was ready to lose you. I was still reaching for us when you were already through. You didn't give me closure, you didn't say why. You left before I let go, and it still hurts every night. I replay the ending in my head, looking for something I missed. Every maybe someday you said still burns like a broken promise. I would have stayed through the damage if you had stayed tore me apart. You left before I let go, before my heart caught up. You were already moving on, I was still in love. You closed the door so quietly, I didn't hear it shut. You left before I let go, now I'm stuck between then and us. Maybe you thought leaving fast would make it hurt less, but the things you never said are the ones that hurt the best. I don't hate you for choosing yourself, I just wish you let me breathe long enough to say goodbye to what we used to be. I didn't need you forever, I just needed time. You left before I let go, but I'm learning how to now. Learning how to loosen my grip on a love that won't come around. I'll carry what was beautiful and release what wasn't true. You left before I let go, but I'm letting go of you. I'm finally saying goodbye to the love I never chose to lose. You left before I let go, now I have to. You were right there beside me, so far from my reach. Your eyes started asking questions, your silence started teaching me. You laughed, you talked, you stayed around, but something in you left. I was holding conversations with someone else entirely. I kept reaching for your heart, but you already shut the door. You said nothing was wrong, well, I was hurting more and more. You left me behind emotionally while you were still walked away without moving, and I didn't understand. I was begging to be seen. You were already free. You didn't leave me physically, you left me behind emotionally. Just to make you wanna stay. You said I was overthinking, moment. I hate how long you stayed, letting me believe in us. While you drifted away, I wouldn't survive the truth if you had told me. You left me behind emotionally. Come with doors or final scenes to see. They happen quietly when someone stops choosing you. Unless you bleed. We built a home out of fragile dreams, promises whispered at 3 a.m. You said forever was ours to keep. Now I'm sleeping next to the ghost of them. Your jacket still hanging by the door, like you might come back for it someday. But the silence says what you couldn't say. You were already gone while you stayed. I gave you my worst and my best. You gave up when I needed you most. I'm learning how to breathe again, but it hurt doing it now. You left me healing alone, with your name on every scar. I'm picking up pieces you broke, while you moved on like it wasn't hard. I loved you deeper than both. It was nothing. Now I'm fighting a war in my soul. You left me healing alone. I replay the fights in my head, wondering where I went wrong. I would've stayed through the mess, but you chose leaving over holding on. I beg for truth, you gave me lies. Said you were tired, said you were lost, but love doesn't quit, it tries. And I tried until it cost me my heart. You promised you'd never run, but when it got real, you did. Now I'm stitching up what you tore, trying to forget. You left me healing alone, with your words still burning my skin. I'm learning how to let you go, but I don't know where to begin. I loved you deeper than both. You said goodbye without warning. Now I'm crying in rooms we called home. You left me healing alone. Maybe someday I'll understand why loving you wasn't enough, why I was willing to break while you couldn't stay when it got rough. I hope you find what you're chasing. I hope it teaches you true, that ours don't heal overnight, and love isn't disposable too. I still miss you, but I miss who I was before you broke me more. You left me healing alone, but I'm still standing somehow. I'm learning my heart's not weak, just bruised from loving too loud. You took your half and you ran, let me drown in memories. But one didn't leave all at once. You faded out in pieces, a little less of your voice. Every time I needed it, you stayed but not the same. Your eyes were somewhere else. I was loving you out loud, you were quietly letting go of us. I kept waiting for a sign that you'd fight like I did, but every night you chose distance and called it dry. You let me break slowly while you watched me fall apart. Every tear was a warning, every silence hit my heart. I was bleeding in your arms, and you still didn't hold me, you didn't leave me all at once. You let me break slowly. I blame myself for the cracks. Thought I just loved too much. I kept shrinking my needs so you wouldn't feel the rush. You said I'm still here, aren't I? But you were gone in every way. I was begging for effort, you were counting down the days. I stayed loyal to the dream, even when it hurt to breathe. I was trying to save us, you were learning how to leave. You let me break slowly, like it didn't hurt at all. You heard me crying beside you, but it never heard my call. I was drowning in maybe, while you were already free. You didn't walk away from me. You let me breathe slowly. Maybe love isn't screaming, maybe it's showing up. Maybe if you cared enough, you wouldn't let it get this rough. I would've healed with you if you had stayed and tried, but you chose comfort over truth and watch me die inside. I didn't need perfection, I just needed you to stay. You let me break slowly, now I'm picking up the card. Every promise that you made is another thing I lost. I loved you through the ending, you loved me just enough to not feel guilty when you quit. You let me break slowly and call it love. One day I'll love without fear, without begging to be seen. But tonight I'm mourning the person I was before you let me break slowly. You used to hold me like I was fragile, like my heart mattered in your hands. You spoke in promises and whispers, said I'll always understand. But somewhere between the late nights and all the things we didn't say, your touch grew cold, your words grew sharp, and I felt you slipping away. I kept loving the version of you that looked at me like home. You kept changing into someone I didn't know. You didn't stay soft, you let the edges show. Every time I needed comfort, you needed space to go. I was breaking quietly, trying not to lose you. You didn't stay soft with my heart when I needed you to. I learned to lower my voice so I wouldn't start a fight. I learned to hide my tears so you could sleep at night. You said I was too emotional, like caring was my flaw. But love shouldn't feel like walking on a floor ready to fall. I stayed gentle through the damage, through the doubt and through the pain. You hardened every part of you and called it change. You didn't stay soft when I was falling apart. You turned your back on the love that only wanted your heart. I was bleeding in your silence, still trying to choose you. You didn't stay soft with my soul when I needed you to. Maybe softness scared you, maybe love felt too real. Maybe it was easier to shut me out than learn how to feel. I don't hate you for leaving, I hate how you stayed and let me slowly disappear while you walked away. I didn't need perfection, I just needed kindness. You didn't stay soft, now I'm learning to be everything you stopped being when you were with me. I'll take back my tenderness, even if it hurts to breathe. You didn't stay soft with my love, but I won't lose it in me. I loved you gently, honestly, with a heart you couldn't keep. You didn't stay soft, but I did. You packed your love in silence, didn't wake me when you went. The door closed like it was nothing, like nothing ever meant. Your name still hangs in corners where your laughter used to be. I'm learning how to breathe again in a house that's missing you and me. You said I'll always be right here, like words were meant to stay. But you disappeared so softly, I didn't feel the break. You left without a sound, no goodbye, no fight, just an empty side of the bed and another sleepless night. I screamed into the silence while you were already gone. You left without a sound and the quiet lingers on. I search for meaning in your eyes, pictures frozen in time. I replay every conversation, wonder where you changed your mind. You said love listening. You left without a sound, no closure, no peace. You took the words I needed and the best part of me. I'm learning how to let go of the love I thought I found. You walked away so quietly. You left without a it won't call out your name, but tonight I'm sitting with the echo of the love that left without a sound. Your jacket's still on the chair, like you might come back tonight. The air still smells like your perfume and unfinished goodbye. You used to rest your head on me like the world would disappear. Now I hold the shape of you where you once rested here. You said this love was safe, a place you'd always stay. But even homes can empty out without a word to say. You rested here, right next to my heart. You called it home, then fell apart. I gave you peace, I gave you years. Now all that's left is where you rested here. You'd fall asleep to my heartbeat, like it knew your name. I stayed awake, protecting us while you slowly changed. I learned how love can feel like warmth and still leave you cold. How someone can be everything, then let you go. You promised me forever, like it was something short. But promises grow fragile when love stops feeling pure. You rested here when life was loud. I held you up, I held you down. I was your calm, your atmosphere. Now silence lies where you rested here. Some loves don't shatter loudly, they drift and disappear, leaving behind an empty space where someone used to breathe. I don't regret the way I loved, I regret I stayed long enough to watch you leave and carry the weight. If you ever miss that feeling, no, I still feel it too. You rested here, but didn't remain. You took your peace and left me pain. I learned to heal through falling tears, but part of me will always ache where you rested here. You rested here. You rested one day this space won't hurt so much, it won't call out your name. But tonight I'm lying with the memory of a love that came and rested here. You came like you were sudden, like you knew my name. You held my hands like home, then left them in the rain. Every time I needed you, you said I'll be okay. But loving you felt like waiting for someone who would never stay. You said your heart was open, but the door was always cracked. I gave you all of me, you kept one foot back. You never stayed when it got real. You never fought for how we felt. I kept believing words you say while you were already on your way. I built my world around your name. You never stayed. I learned to read your distance in the silence of your calls. I made excuses for your absence, like love doesn't need it all. I stayed through all the maybes. You lived in your escape. I kept choosing us while you kept choosing space. You said love shouldn't hurt this much. Like pain, man, it was wrong, but loving someone halfway is how hearts break along. You never stayed when I was weak. You never heard what I couldn't speak. I held on tighter every day, afraid you fade and slip away. You left before I could be brave. You never Some people love in moments, not in the in-between. They show up for the easy parts and vanish in the seams. I don't hate you for leaving. I hate how long I tried to turn your temporary love into something that survived. I wasn't asking for perfection, just for you to remain. You never stayed, but I loved true. I showed you all I had to lose. One day I'll find a love that stays, that doesn't leave me halfway changed. But you'll always be the one who taught me what it means when someone never stays. I learned to trust again someday. I'll open my heart and try, but part of me will always remember how you never stayed. Goodbye. We picked a world out on whispers, games we swore to fight. You said my heart was your shelter, no, it's where I hide. Your footsteps still hold a hallway, your names in the walls I breathe. You left without looking back and took the best of me. You promised we'd stand together through fire, through falling days. But when the ground started sinking, you let go of your hand. You left me in ruins with nothing to hold. Love was so warm, now bitter and cool. I'm standing in pieces of what we were. You walked away home, you left me in ruins. We stayed when the curtains were showing, when hope was paper thin. I held us up with trembling hands while you lit the balcony. I learned how to smile through heartbreak, cup dangers, the phase. I can't rebuild it for you while you walked away. You said love till you feel heavy like weight, man, we were wrong. But I was carrying us both while you moved on. You left me in ruins when love needed you most. You took our future and turned it to ghosts. I gave you my faith, you gave me the edge. You walked away free, you left me in ruins again. Some endings don't come crashing down, your feet and leave a scar. And all the things we never said and who we really are. I don't hate you for leaving, I hate how much I stayed, trying to say what was already slipping away. If love is meant to shelter, why did it leave me exposed? You left me in ruins, but I survived your fall. I'm running out of steam again from the ashes of it all. You'll always be the story I couldn't save or choose. You walked away, I'm broken. You left me in one day I'll rebuild my heart stronger than it was before. But tonight I'm standing still in the quiet of the love that left me in ruins. I heard your goodbye in whispers, not the words but how you looked away, like you'd already left the moment before you chose to say my name. You held me like it was the last time, but I didn't know it then. I was still believing in forever while you were reaching for the end. You said you'll be okay someday, like healing happens fast. But you don't just walk away from love and leave it in the past. Your goodbye still lives in me, in every quiet room, in the way I hesitate before I love someone new. I carry all the words you didn't say, the part of you that wouldn't stay. You may be gone, but honestly, your goodbye still lives in me. I see you in the smallest moments, in songs we used to play, in the way my heart still softens when someone says your name. I've learned how endings echo long after they're done, how a single moment can undo what love had begun. You walked away so certain, like I'd be fine somehow, but I'm still learning how to breathe without you now. Your goodbye still lives in me, like a scar I can't erase, and the trust I give so carefully, and the fear I still face. I smile, but part of me remains back where you walked away. You moved on so easily. Your goodbye still lives in me. Some goodbyes don't fade with time, they settle in your chest. They change the way you love again. They teach you how to protect. I don't hate you for leaving, I hate how deep it went, how one goodbye became the thing I still feel when I'm trying to forget. If you ever wonder why I'm different now, it's because you taught me how lost sounds. Your goodbye still lives in me, but I'm learning how to heal. I'm learning that surviving is stronger than what I feel. I'll love again, just not the same. I won't give my heart away, but I'll always carry quietly the goodbye that still lives in me. One day I'll think of you, and it won't hurt this deep, but tonight, your goodbye still lives in me.